apocalypse-wise, you having to stay home and not see people, on a list of 1 to 10, is that pretty good?
Oh, Josh, it's higher than 1. I think it's so funny talking with like talking with our coworkers. Where I have a lot of people who are like going to need serious mental health treatment after this. People who are going to bed at 9 a.m., waking up at 4 p.m. They can't get anything straight. I am just
thriving,
crushing.
You know what's funny is that I really do have a lot of friends who are like, I've been waiting for this time. Like, this is where they're taking over the earth. You know what I mean?
When this is done, like there's a chance I'm king of America. It's just people just like, this guy, he's got it figured out. He knows what to do.
I'll tell you what I love the most about this entire situation is that, like, you know, at the beginning of the quarantine, people still cared about what they were dressed like on their on the videos that they put out.
Yeah.
Now nobody gives a fuck. You know what comfortable sweatpants are. Like, you know every little secret about these people.
I had one day, I think maybe the first day, maybe the first 2 days of quarantine, I was heeding the advice of people who are not as well prepared as me for this. But it was like, okay, maybe still get dressed in the morning so you feel like a human. So the first 2 days I did that. And then since then I came home to Fall River to Massachusetts. And when my dad drove down to New York to get me probably about a little over 2 weeks ago, I packed 2 pairs of sweatpants, 3 sweatshirts, 4 t-shirts, and 20 pairs of underwear. And that is it.
You should already be making your victory speech, man. All right, so 2.5 weeks you've been inside. In those 2.5 weeks, I want to take a guess how many times you've showered. How many days? You've been in quarantine, how many days?
It was 2 Saturdays ago, so 16 days. You're not going to believe the answer, actually.
Well,
longer than that.
We've
been in longer than 2.5 weeks, John.
Are you wearing
in Boston?
Are you wearing a tie? Oh my God. What the? You know what? Listen. If you were like, man, how can I make sure my hair looks the worst? You did it.
Well, you know what I do is when I'm just sitting around the house, it drives me crazy. So I pull it back like that. Anybody else in the world, I would take it out for the interview. Not for Josh Wolf though. I wanted to see your reaction.
That is on Kevin's. I was just telling Josh, I'm going to come out of quarantine king of America, and Kevin's going to come out a man bun guy, and it's going to.
I'm going to be the belle of the fucking ball, baby.
I hope you come out wearing a Kimura with a top knot.
Hey, look. Oh, you know what? Let me get. I do have a. Hang on, I got to get my kimono. I'll be right back.
Want me to show you the jacket that came in the mail? Hold on one second. Hold on. This is my quarantine jacket. You guys tell me what you think about this. Hold on.
Oh, wow. That's sick. That is. Oh, and it's long, too?
Yep, look at this shit. Look.
Oh, wow. Where'd you get that?
I went full length for quarantine, man.
That thing is unbelievable. That's such a sick jacket.
Look at this.
How comfy is it?
It's comfortable. Let me tell you how comfortable it is. I've been wearing it as a robe.
I'm so jealous right now. God damn, we were just sucking my dick saying I'm doing great at quarantine. I'm not doing nearly as good as you are.
Wait a second. I want to add something to the outfit. What's happening? What's going on at your house, man?
This is between this look and Kevin's hair. This is like all right, people are losing their goddamn minds episode.
And there's no doubt. I cut my own hair the other day.
I saw that. How'd that go?
You know what, man? Look, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. How about that?
That's not high praise.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Kev? I mean, listen, who's got the better look right now? Him with his robe and his top knot, or me with my full-length fur coat and the glasses?
It's a photo finish. The glasses might give you the edge here, but between the two of you guys look.
We got it going on, Josh.
Yeah. This virtual chat could very quickly turn into a gay orgy.
This is we're team quarantine right now. Look at me and you.
Let's start
Look at this.
experimenting, Josh. I would fuck you right now, buddy. See, this is how I feel. I feel like we're about to get weird. And I said this last week. I thought that last week might have been the breaking point. And maybe I was a little premature. I think this week might be when we start getting weird with it. You know, there's just like no fucking rules anymore. Nothing but weirdness going on. Let's just embrace the new life, the new world order.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. With the glasses and the robe and that top knot, if your picture came out tomorrow that you had 8 bodies buried in your backyard, I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
We might be on it. We might be the subjects of a new Netflix documentary for all we know.
Dude, hey, how about Netflix? I feel so bad for Netflix. It's for our generation and for just people in the world today. It's so impossible to create content for. Like there were 2 weeks, 3 weeks where we were like, Tiger King's awesome. And then they added a new episode this week and everyone's like, oh no, we don't
Nobody fucking cares.
Let me ask you your take on that show though. Because I'm gonna be completely honest. If you're just going just the show, just the story, take away how weird he is, it was boring as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was so weird, right?
Yeah, we said that, but right afterwards, we kind of said it. We're like, just to be clear, if this wasn't quarantine, if we didn't become like a meme, it's not that good a show. Yeah, and it was a lot of like, whoa, that's crazy for 15 seconds.
And then that's it.
And then that was it.
There was no like. I mean, the only thing that piqued my interest was Carol Baskin's like unsolved murder, and that that's usually what those documentaries get you going. You have theories and hypotheses, and you start to discuss it. Otherwise, it was just like, man, that was crazy how those straight guys kept fucking that gay guy. Man, that was crazy how everyone kept losing their limbs. Man, weird shit like that.
It was like, so it was a story that could have been told in 2 episodes.
Yeah, for sure. Not 7, yeah.
But if you were like, hey, we're going to tell you a 7-episode arc of how this 51-year-old gay dude with a mullet convinced 2 19-year-old straight guys to fuck him, I'd be like, well, he should write a book. Like, that's interesting.
I was like, yeah, I've tried meth too. I know how it happens.
What's going on, old man Wolf? How are you, man? I did Controlled Chaos last week with Sam Morrill and Taylor Tomlinson. That was a fucking trip. That's a great little show you got there. Great format, fun stuff.
Guess what? This week, guess who's the panel this week is Lance Bass, Joey Fatone, and Chris Kirkpatrick.
You motherfucker!
Yeah, Friday at 1:00. Can
we get your scraps? Can you pass them off to us when you're done? I would fucking love an NSYNC episode.
How great is that?
Actually, you know what? No. Fuck you, Josh Wolf. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to call our PR people right now. I'm going to get them on the horn with Backstreet Boys, and we're going to do our own fucking episode to battle with yours.
Wait a second. Are you trying to tell me that the Backstreet Boys are bigger than NSYNC?
Yes, I am. And if you, and sir, if you think that you're going to prove otherwise, you have not done your homework, because we already had this argument and we win by a landslide.
Wait a second. Here's what I'm going to say, because I don't think you're taking in the Justin Timberlake of it.
Well, that's funny you say that, because who's not on your show this week, Josh? Because that's all that NSYNC is. Okay, you take him out, and you have a bunch of guys on Controlled Chaos.
Let me tell you something, man.
I love Lance Bass and Joey and Fatone. Wait a minute. Did I hear you correctly? You don't even have JC Chazé?
Say that last one. You
don't even have JC on the show?
Well, I can only fit 3 people, you know?
Oh, okay. Interesting.
You're a stronger NSYNC guy though, because look, NSYNC's unbelievable. It's not the classic internet thing where one's bad, one's good. NSYNC is fucking awesome.
Well, let me ask you this:
Backstreet has more hits.
More hits?
Yeah, dude, you got to do your homework on this. I know it doesn't seem this way, and a lot of people have their mind blown. You look at sales, you look at streams, you look at total number of hits and longevity. Woo-hoo-hoo, it's not even close.
Okay, wait a second. Let's take the top 5 songs for both groups.
Let's do it.
Let's take the top 5 songs for both. Now, first of all, I think the top song, head to head, I think those are a push.
What do you got?
Look, when I say top song, I bet we're saying most popular, right? So Bye 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 is
I Want It That Way versus Bye Bye Bye, right?
I think that's a push.
Well,
maybe I Want It That Way has more nostalgia to it, doesn't it?
And I think it holds up better. I think if you listen to it now, I feel like that's a song you can get down to. I don't know if Bye 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 is still doing it.
It's actually very strange. Where we very recently had this exact discussion on the show, probably like 2 weeks ago. It's weird how it happens. But like, if you walk into any room in America, right, and you go, "You are," the whole room is yelling back, "My fire."
Now I have to admit, late night shows when I'm on the road, my Saturday night shows. I know this isn't going to be a huge surprise for you, but my Saturday night late shows, I take about 100 milligrams edible, and I go on stage. And one of the things that I like to do is I'll bring my guitar out and I'll play I Want It That Way, but I have 3 audience members come on stage and do interpretive dance behind me.
Oh boy! And I'm assuming they're on 100 milligrams as well.
Guys, there are a couple clips of those up on my YouTube channel. There's one where this girl got on stage and was so drunk and dancing so provocatively around me that her boyfriend broke up with her while she was on stage.
I'm looking this up right now. That is unbelievable. Like he got up and left, or he said like, "We're fucking done."
I said to her, I go, "Well, ask your boyfriend if it's okay for you to stay up here if there's something else." And she goes, "Oh, he broke up with me when I came."
That is special. That's the type of content you can't get that at Wawa, man.
There was another one where this soccer mom in Columbus started lifting up. She was lifting up her skirt. She went. It was Soccer Mom's Gone Wild. She went bananas. But they're called on my YouTube channel. I think they're all dance offs, and there's like 5 of them.
Yeah. Your YouTube, man. By the way, just so the people know, 1.12 million subscribers on Josh Wolf's fucking YouTube. Which, after we started Answer the Internet, we started to take a lot. Starting to look at YouTube a lot more. And I mean, we've had you and every other comedian under the sun, top celebrities, the whole 9, and we're just hitting 200,000. The fact that you're up over 1 million, Josh Wolf, is fucking nuts. And you got it all organized. The thumbnails are great. You are a YouTube fucking animal, man.
Listen, man, what's weird is that as somebody my age, that's not a normal thing, I'm still trying to. Let me ask you, I asked you this, Kev, but let me ask you in general, like TikTok, have you gone on it?
So we after doing Controlled Chaos, we ended up discussing the reasons why, and I said it on your show. I think it's weird that the parents get involved.
Me too.
I think it's weird when like grown men in their houses are doing dances. And I think there's a whole creepy section of TikTok that gets weird.
Yeah.
But if I could do all that and I could succeed at it and I was hot like that, I would do it and I'd be like, fuck the haters.
I think the top knot gets you one step closer to TikTok.
This is my TikTok fit. I'm here. But we just had a girl, Rhea, put up a blog on the site with her TikToks, and she said, "This is what I do for work. I'm going to be publishing them all on the website, and all you guys are going to be haters and tell me you don't fucking like them when I know you're watching them, so fuck off and enjoy." And I think that's the perfect way to put TikTok. It's like a lot of people hating on it, a lot of people looking down on it, and what are they doing every night before they go to bed? Falling down a TikTok hole where they watch it for like 2.5 straight hours.
I have to tell you, I don't watch it. I don't go down TikTok holes.
Well, you are also 80.
Yeah, listen, here's the truth of the matter is, it's the same thing with Dancing with the Stars. You know what? I don't want to watch other people dancing. I just don't like that. Is not a thing that I give one shit about. And
it's like the worst part of dancing. Now, again, I don't have TikTok. I told us recently I deleted TikTok because I posted 2 TikToks. Both fell completely flat, and I was like, you know what? If you don't want me, I don't want you. Fuck you, and deleted it.
I'm breaking up with you before you break up with me.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't. I'm not fired. I quit. the worst part of dancing, where it's like they're not good. It's like I want to see the Chris Brown, or I want to see the interpretive dancing on Josh Wolf's stage.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it is
Yeah.
a little ironic coming from the guy who hosts dance-offs on stage at night that he doesn't want to see dancing. But I do get that point of it's got to be. This is why I don't do karaoke. I'm not a good singer, and I'm not that funny when I'm on stage. So nobody wants just 4 minutes of like.
That's the thing, is that if you're gonna tell me, look at this TikTok, it's really funny. I'm like, okay. Or look at this TikTok, they're really good. But anywhere in between that is like, I don't understand why I'm looking at it. But I will tell you that, like, I saw one of my friends from high school. He was like, I got a TikTok, bro. I'm like, what? Why did you get a TikTok? And he was like, oh, I've always wanted to be a dancer. I'm like, what? When did this happen? I will tell you this. The opposite side to this is, okay? Now, I don't like watching people do dance and all that stuff, but I'm not going to lie to you. What I have been doing here at the house, because I want to unleash it, is I've been watching YouTube downstairs and practicing all the dance moves to Thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not going to unleash TikTok, but I think I'm going to unleash an entire Thriller dance-off between myself and
See, that's all it is. You just got to find your niche on TikTok. It doesn't have to be the new age shit. It could be the old school shit like you, man. It's fine.
I'm going full video, though.
And I'll be eating the popcorn.
What you were saying with your high school buddy, how like he's like, I always wanted to be a dancer. I feel like every guy is like that. And we're always just so fucking scared. I remember when I was younger, probably like middle school, my sister was in a hip hop dance class, and she's a younger sister. So she came home one day and they had been learning the dance to pop and sync. Shout out and sync. And I made her every night for an hour give me dance lessons in the basement so I could learn the dance to pop. Because like guys we're just embarrassed, but if you fucking show me in the basement where no one can see me, I'll fucking.
He was wearing her dresses and high heels and the makeup and the whole nine, Josh. I don't. That's what I don't like about TikTok slander. Do not try to come at me and tell me that dancing's not cool. Dancing's fucking cool, man. 100%. If you can do it,
100%.
I would be insufferable if I could dance or I could sing. You'd hate me because I would always be dancing and I would be singing.
There's no doubt that everybody secretly would like to know how to dance. I'm so curious what music she was teaching you to dance to, and if you had any of those dance moves you wanted to unleash right now.
Did any stick with you, John? Did any happen to maintain
anything? What music were you practicing to? Do you remember?
No music. You can't. You gotta learn it without the music.
Wow. So you're just in your basement going 5, 6, 7, 8, 2.
You look right saying that with that top knot, by the way.
I'm looking at the
a long time ago. If I remember correctly, it's like you gotta learn the steps and then you put it to the music. I could be wrong on that, or maybe I just had a bad teacher who was.
I was gonna say I don't think your sister knew what the fuck she was doing. I am looking at this dance off, by the way. Homegirl really did not hold back. She is touching you. You might have almost got broken up with that night if she kept going. I
had to institute that after that night. The first thing I say on stage is, okay, I got a couple rules. First rules, no touching me. I was like,
ass is on you, rubbing your.
But it's time for me to say no touching me. Yeah. That same show, the dudes saw her touching me. So some dude was rubbing his dick on my leg. I'm like, hey, no touching me. Do you know?
That's too much. Do you ever get sick of
dick slaps on stage?
Dude,
my word.
When's the last time as a grown man? Oh my God. Okay. Because that reminded me, the dick on the leg. When's the last time as a grown man you gave another dude a piggyback? Because as a kid, you never realized, is that his nuts? Is that a dick? Like it's right in the middle of your back. You're like, what the?
It's funny you say that. I have not given a piggyback, but I recently jumped on Phoenix Marie's back. You know her? Familiar with her work?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a sturdy base on her. I hopped right on her back, and I definitely felt like my dick smushed up against her back. And I was like, this is not appropriate at all for grown adults to be doing.
Nope. You're like, oh, that's a dick. All right, time to go.
I feel like I give piggybacks more than a regular person, but I think I might give him the small dick people because it's never been a moment in my head where I'm like, that's his dick on my back.
Why? Like, apparently, YP doesn't have a big dick because he's always on your back, bro.
I was just thinking, I've definitely had YP on my back recently, and I'm not saying anything about his dick. In fact, he's so proud of his penis. I bet he's got a pretty good dick. But I don't know. Hitting my spot.
I don't know. I feel like if it's like anything else. If you're talking about your penis, you probably don't have a great one. Do you think that Wood walked around town talking about his dick a lot, or do you think he just let that picture do the talking for him?
I think Wood walked around town in his fucking hammer pants because his fucking pants don't fit. His dick doesn't fit in anything else, and was just
the MC Hammer stole the name of Hammer Pants from him because that's Hammer. You know what I mean? And he was like, "This is mine."
We had. So I went to high school. I went to like a boarding school where kids from all over the place were, and we had this.
Where did you go? Because I went to one in Massachusetts too.
I went to one in Rhode Island actually. I went to Portsmouth Abbey in Rhode Island.
I went to North.
What's that?
I went to Northfield Mount Herman. You know where that is?
Oh, I know NMH. Yeah, I had a few friends who went there because they have a middle school too, right?
I just went postgraduate year. I didn't do too well in my regular high school. You know?
we had 2 kids on our hockey team.
Had to take an extra year of high school, yeah.
But there were a lot of kids, not a lot of kids, but there was a kid from Africa. We had a few kids from Africa. And one thing I got to add, everyone from Africa says they're a prince. Like everybody. Everyone's like, a lot of princes in Africa. I guess it's from different tribes and whatnot. But this kid was like 7 feet tall. And the rumor around campus was that his dick was so big, if he got a boner, he'd pass out. Because and
hit him in the face?
All the blood would rush to his dick.
Yeah. And I feel like Wood suffered from a similar ailment.
Yeah, I mean that's why he died early. I think that Wood probably like cause of death, too big of a dick. That would not be surprising if that was on the certificate.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Having a dick that big does not seem good.
No. Where would you want it? Where, if you could build your perfect dick, how big you going? We actually do a question I answer the internet. You for every inch of what is it, John? For every inch of your dick, you lose an inch of height?
There's multiple, but every inch of your dick is 2 years of life, is what I.
Oh, right. Okay, let's do that one. Every inch of your dick
0 inches. Not adding inches. 0 inches. Every inch you lose 2 years of your life.
So if you wanted a 7-inch dick, you got to take off 14 years. If you say the average lifespan, let's say, is 80 years, you're checking out pretty fucking early. You're dead at 66 if you want to have a 7-inch dick.
You know what's funny is I would rather take years off my life than height away from me. I was like,
yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I'd take some of it.
Yeah, I think if you're talking height, it's your life is ruined. If you're dead, your life's just over. No big deal.
I think 66 seems because people are still having a good time at 66.
Yeah, I mean, my parents are 66 and they're like, it's not they're on their deathbed or like shitting in diapers. They're just normal people.
But I don't.
Friend's mom is 75 and she's like fucking the life of the party every time still. So
right,
66 is young as shit.
Right.
But you want to go below 6-inch dick?
Well, that's where we're at now. So I guess Josh has a fucking hammer. Okay.
I don't think I want to drop below 6-inch dick. So I think 68.
You're also thinking if you drop below something that is at least acceptable, right? Like my dick's not going to turn heads, but it's also not going to get laughed at. So if I had one that gets laughed at,
what number is that? What's not going to get laughed at, but what's not going to turn heads?
I think you got to be at least 5 to not get laughed.
I was going to say 5 is like you got a dick. You got one. I have a dick. Because if she's not reporting back to her friends either way,
If you got one that gets laughed at, your whole life is different. You got to think like you might have those extra 4 years or 8 years, but your life is miserable because as a child you were bullied, and then like that just fucked with your psyche. So now best case scenario, you're an accountant at H&R Block.
Yeah. Maybe. I was going to say you might not even have a job. You can't interview. You got no people skills because you're just mad at the fucking world.
Or you put your head down at an early age and you were like, I'm going to get back at all those big dicks in the world.
True. It'd be motivation. You can use that as a positive or a negative. You know,
Yeah,
that guy.
but I think I know my base personality.
Dominate.
Could you imagine?
My base personality with the one that was not affected by penis size? That personality is not one of those. I'm going to prove these people wrong.
Yeah. But wouldn't that be great though? Wouldn't that be great if if Joe Rogan
I
has
know where my motivation comes from, and it's not from fucking belittling and beating other people. It's not that.
no examples of that?
No.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fucking great though? If Joe Rogan has Elon Musk on his show and he's like, Elon, like, why do you like build fucking space rockets and what change the world? And he's like, I got a fucking 4 1/3 inch dick, Joe, and I'm mad about it. And I just was out to prove the world wrong.
Yeah.
Like, all right, man. Like,
build the biggest rockets in the world, Joe. Let me take my pants off real quick.
Exactly, man.
Every day I stand around like Elon wasn't. He was like the kid in Superbad. Every day he was just drawing dicks in his notebook. He's so jealous of big. And then he got caught by his teacher, and he had to fucking draw his rockets. He's like, "No, these are just rockets." And then he's like, "You know what? Fine, I'm gonna go into my life's work is gonna be drawing big old dicks."
Oh my God. You know what's funny? I just watched Superbad the other day, and first of all, totally holds up.
Yeah,
Such a good movie.
But then we started to get into a conversation about comedic actors and who, if you were going to take whoever's top 3 comedy movies, who would have the most impressive top 3. Now, Jonah Hill has an impressive top 3, like Superbad, This Is the End, and fill in the blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could never get past Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop, 48 Hours, Trading Places.
Well, especially you as a comic, I feel like you have this regard for Eddie Murphy on like a whole different level.
Sandler has a crazy.
Well, did you see Sandler versus Ferrell went viral this past week?
Oh, it did?
And well, I think it's pretty even.
Their top 3 though. It was their.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I think if you take people's top 3s, the debate gets almost impossible because. You know, Sandler has some clunkers. So does Will Ferrell. It's like sometimes like how these movies even get made. But if you reserve just their gold, silver, bronze, it's almost impossible because you're talking about, you know, everybody, all these top guys have 3 classics.
Yeah, even Ben Stiller, dude. Ben Stiller has 3 crushers.
What
Gosh,
happened with him? Like, he just started directing serious, but like the last thing I know he did was he directed Escape from Dannemora, that like Showtime miniseries, which was dope. But like, who takes such a sharp turn from like I'm going to be in silly, hilarious movies, and now I'm doing like real life, intense pieces?
Somebody who takes themselves too seriously.
I was gonna say you can guarantee that turn won't ever happen for one Josh Wolf. You ain't gonna see him at fucking Sundance one day directing a bit about like blood diamonds in the African Serengeti or some shit. No.
Sandler,
You will see me tonight in my backyard taking mushrooms if you want to tune in.
Kind of do.
You think Sandler takes himself too seriously though? You probably know more than I do. I'm sorry, Stiller. Because I think back on him in the Curb Your Enthusiasm role, where that's the whole joke is that he takes himself too seriously. So is that like real life, or is that just something?
I don't know him at all. But he does seem like a guy like Jim Carrey, who hit a certain point in his life and was like, I want to do some more serious stuff.
Yeah.
You know, got Ben Stiller super buff. He's ripped.
Mm-hmm.
He's always ripped though. Remember him in was it Long Came Polly?
Yeah.
Or no, even in fucking Meet the Family or Meet the Parents, when he's like in that Speedo, he's shredded.
But he's one of those guys that has always been shredded and has always wanted people to know he was shredded. So he would always find himself in movies where he was like, "Oh,
look, my shirt's off."
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
And then you got a guy like Sandler who, you know, he's wearing basketball shorts and a sweatshirt, you know, to the fucking Oscars if he wanted to. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
Now, if you're asking, everybody's got their own personal, but he's my comedic hero for a couple of reasons. One, he's always just kept to what he likes. Even when he was getting bashed, hey man, this is the type of comedy that I do. You know what comedy I like? I like fun. I like it not taking itself too seriously. You're always going to hear a fart joke. This is what I do. You know what else I like about him? He has always taken his friends along with him.
Yeah,
big time.
That has never stopped. And if he wouldn't put in the movies, he was producing their stuff. And the last thing, man, is that he's never changed, like personally. I know professionally he hasn't, but personally, never changed who he was. He showed up to the Oscars, or he showed up to Spade's show in basketball shorts, wearing socks with his face on it and a hoodie.
Do you think there's any point where he is self-aware to the point that he's doing that on purpose, or you think he really is just like, like would he sometimes want to wear a suit somewhere and he's like, but I got to do the basketball shorts thing? Or you think he actually is just like, this is how I roll?
I don't think so. And if you, I don't know if you guys watched the Spirit Award. The Spirit Award.
Oh yeah. That was great. He got up there and said like, "Fuck the Academy" or some shit, right?
Yeah, but you know what he did first? Because he was like, nobody's ever going to give me an Academy Award. You know what he did? The first people he thanked were all of the people that worked on all of his movies before. All of the movies that obviously were never going to get awards, that he's never been able to come out and publicly thank. He did.
Right.
That's 20 years, man. This dude has been thinking about thanking these people for 20 years. That's the kind of shit where I'm like, this guy's the fucking best. You never see him any scandals. He's not around LA fucking about.
Yeah, you know what? We might have to add him fights to our list of we're on a crusade to find somebody to say something bad about The Rock, because there's just no bad stories about him. Yeah. I don't think I've ever heard anything about Adam Sandler either. I don't think I've ever heard a bad, he didn't sign my kid's autograph. He didn't, do this or that. There's not a single bad story about him.
He is a solid dude, man. And that's why for me, if I was going to, not only that, he keeps printing money. Oh, yeah.
There's an article on him. There was an article on him when Uncut Gems came out. I think it was in the New Yorker magazine. If you haven't read it, well, you'll love it. But it's just basically about all this, where it's like he's just a regular dude. Like he shows up to his, I believe it was a $200,000 a year golf club, and he was just in basketball shorts. And he's like, "Am I too disgusting to eat here?" And they're like, "Absolutely not, Mr. Sandler." And there was one paragraph that I was just trying to find. Like I can't find it right now. I don't want to type too much, but it was the author of the article reached out to a lot of people in the industry and a lot of people in Hollywood, being like, "Hey, I'm doing an article on Sandler." And he included like tidbits of their responses, and every single one, from people from like the CEO of Netflix to Conan O'Brien to Spade, Rock, Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore was particularly like, "Let me know what you need. I will do absolutely anything for Adam at any time." And like, but everyone was like the greatest guy in the world, the most loyal guy in the world, awesome dude, never changed. It was like the who's who of Hollywood was revering him like he was a god.
If you look at even, and I know they just canceled Lights Out, which is a bummer because it was a really good show. But Sandler's interviews on there, when it's just him and Spade, you can see the genuine love that they have for each other and how great this dude, man, Sandler doesn't have to be gracious anymore. He doesn't have to be humble. He's incredibly gracious. He's so happy. You can tell he's so happy for his friend. And I'm like, man, this is the type of dude that you know what I mean? That I want.
Yeah. I want one time, and Spade should probably be the guy to do it. He should have him on a show and be like, "It's okay. No one's gonna get mad at you or think anything of it. Just tell everybody like fuck off." Like I just want one Adam Sandler to be like, to everybody who doubted me, to everybody who says like this, that, fuck off. And I think the world would just rally.
Yeah. Each of the Spirit Awards was his way of saying that.
Dude, he had that story with when Variety was doing the Actors on Actors series during Oscar season, where was it Pitt? Pitt was telling him the story, and it was when Adam Sandler was at NYU, and a teacher took him out for a beer and said, "Look, quit. Like this is not for you. You are not good at this. You should go find something else to do." And then years later, when Sandler was on SNL and was crushing it, he was with some friends and he bumped into that teacher at a bar, and he introduced his friends, and then he introduced the teacher. He said, "This is the only teacher who ever took me out for a beer." And that was the only thing he said. He never like rubbed it in his face. He's like, "This is a great guy. He's the only teacher who ever took me out for a beer."
Yeah, man, because the truth of the matter is, look at my bank account rubs it in your face enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know what also too, at the same time, like if you're at NYU film school and Adam Sandler's getting up there doing his voices, like I could see a guy being like, "Bro, this is not gonna work." And
the same thing happened with Robin Williams. I read his book, Robin, and it was like he didn't get kicked out, but NYU was like, "Look, we have nothing else to teach you. You're excellent at what you do. The other stuff we're going to be doing is like drama shit, and that's just like go be you, go be Robin Williams. You're like we have nothing left to teach you." And I feel like that was kind of probably something with Sandler too, where it's like, "Look, what you're going to do, you're already great at. So you're just waiting."
That's going to work, great, but otherwise, It does take a certain level too, though, of just be like, I'm gonna do goofy voices, I'm gonna do dick jokes, and I mean, like, for you, you said Sandler's your guy. Like, if you look at the mid '90s run for Adam Sandler versus Jim Carrey, Jim Carrey had in 1 year in '94, he had Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura, and The Mask in a single fucking calendar year, which is bananas.
That's absurd.
Oh my God.
It's
But I will say
disgusting.
this. So I bet you at the time, if you had asked me what's making you laugh harder right now, I would say probably Jim Carrey. Like Ace Ventura had me in hysterics.
Stitches. Yeah,
Not-
yeah.
But I would, if you're asking me which movies hold up better and which would I watch now, Sandler's.
Yeah, I mean,
Look, I watched Ace Ventura the other day, and that style of comedy that he was doing doesn't. It just doesn't hit me like it used to.
did you see, speaking of comparing the two, did you see Burt Kreischer on that stream when he met Adam Sandler?
I didn't watch that.
They did a comedy laugh aid thing a week ago with Bill Burr and tried to raise money, and Burt was the one who got to introduce Adam. And much like yourself, he said he's like my comedic hero. And Burt, I think, had a couple pops in him, and I think he was very flustered. And he was like, "We loved you in Ace Ventura. I can't wait to go watch Precious Gems." He got like all the names wrong. It was bad. It was a tough scene, Josh. It was tough. But just
Jesse Madison was his favorite movie.
yeah, oh, Happy Madison. It was so bad. He asked him. He said, "Adam, do you have Netflix?" Yeah, he fucking owns Netflix.
Oh, Netflix, dude.
It was tough. But he's like your number one. I mean, I know you have the reverence for Eddie Murphy, but as far as like movie personality type, Sandler would be your guy.
As far as comics and just how he carries himself, you're about to see my wife walk up the stairs.
Hey,
Hey.
what's up, Ms. Wolf? Where do you think Chris? Where do you think Chris Farley would be at? Do you think he would be like a fucking megastar, A-lister, $500 million man, or do you think he'd be I guess him and Sandler would have just gone to the top together. But
I would guess that Farley's floor is Kevin James. That's his floor.
yeah, right. But that's the question. Do you think he would be a guy like Kevin James, who's like, don't get me wrong, had a lot of success?
Yeah.
Or do you think it would be like, I can't even think of someone who we
still be in. At the end of the day, he'd obviously still be in the group with Sandler and Spade, and they'd all be working together, and he would have been in Grown Ups for sure. It's so hard to say, and I'll tell you why I think it's hard to say, because guys like Farley or Belushi or John Candy, it's almost like, you ever get the feeling that when some people die young and they've done so much young that it's almost like they know they have to get it all in right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Not maybe consciously, but subconsciously. Like I go 100 miles an hour, so I know this race ends sooner than it does people doing 20. So I always feel like, I know this is going to sound like hippy dippy or whatever. Somewhere in your body, those people who live hard and fast, that's the reason I think they're living.
Right. It's almost like he wasn't, like longevity wasn't for him. Like maybe it wouldn't have worked if he had a 30-year career as opposed to like 10 or 15 or wherever he got in.
I think it still would have worked, but I think if you had asked him honestly, you think you're living to your 60, he'd have been like,
No way, yeah.
Do you guys know who Joey Diaz is?
Yeah.
That's an easy thing to say though when you're doing fucking speedballs.
Speedballs in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're 940 pounds,
Right.
you ask Joey Diaz, man. Joey Diaz, I've known Joe for a long time, but if you had asked him when I first met him, you think you're going to see 50? He'd have been like, nah.
Really?
No, and he lived that way. He lived that way.
Did he change? Did he slow down, or is he still doing it and he's just got that gene in him?
No. His daughter changed everything.
Yeah.
His daughter changed everything for him. But I think, so for Farley, man, I don't think there's any mistaking his genius. Here's the thing. It's like when you're a comic and you're making the comics laugh and the audience laugh, those are the guys or the girls. Farley made the performers laugh and us laugh. It was like across the board. And I don't think that slows down for him. I just don't know if he's going at that frantic pace. That would be but he was, for me, that Down by the River, that's the hardest I've ever laughed at.
Yeah, God.
You know the second one? The second hardest I've ever laughed at any sketch was that Kristen Wiig with the little baby hand on her finger.
I don't know that one. No.
Fucking God. But the Van Down by the River is the hardest I've ever laughed at a sketch.
Yeah, when he got cooking with the physical comedy, he was fucking unmatched, man. Even I love
Is that still popular now though? Like, do you think like
well, that's a good point. Like, would he have like evolved?
Is there
Like,
anyone who's even like him anymore? Like where it's like a physical comedian? He could do it all, but like
Let me ask you something. When you see somebody fall on a clip online, do you laugh?
yeah, right. That was like was that.
Physical comedy. You know, my friend Greg Garcia, who created My Name is Earl and Raising Hope, and the dude is a genius. He was on Chaos this week. But he told me once, he was like, man, I really try to make sure I have physical comedy because even though people are like, I don't like physical comedy, everybody likes to see somebody get hit in the nuts, to see somebody fall. Everybody.
Such a fine line too, though, because if you try to wedge that in, or it's very transparent that you're doing it, and it's like you're just like the dancing monkey, it's like nobody cares. But if you got, and that's why I think it all played in perfect. He was overweight and he had the big red face, and all that shit is probably why he was so funny, but also why it met an early demise.
Think about they're still talking about him. Think about how much people still reference that guy.
Right.
How good he was. Spade and Sandler still talk about that guy all the time. That's how funny he was. They're two of the funniest people in the world. You know what I mean?
Right. There's a reason why.
Yeah. I think so.
And so there's a reason why your old ass is still out there doing it. You've got the longevity going. You got a new special out right now. And I love the way you're doing things, man. I know, we just referenced how many subscribers you've got. And I know we talked with Sam Morril pre your show last week because he did the same thing. If it ain't going to be a big bag from Netflix or something, this is the way to go because, you're handling it right in this era. Because I'd rather go get, a couple million views on YouTube over, I think, like I said, if you got a Netflix special, great. When I see someone putting it out on like the third or fourth choice platform that someone's got to hunt down, it's like, don't do that. Just don't do it.
Yeah, because the truth is when people are looking for comedy, they go to Netflix or YouTube.
Right.
Other than that, they're going to the other places first. Either they're going for you specifically, but nobody's browsing those other sites for comedy specials.
Right.
But right now, man, I'm doing a show on Facebook Watch called Josh Wolf's Wonderful World of Weird. And they're quick 4 to 8 minute episodes. 2 weeks ago, guys, you're going to like this. 2 weeks ago, I went for leech therapy and they put a leech on my butthole.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Who brought this up? Somebody brought this up to us and I was like, did you say Bert? It might have been. I was like, did you say butt? Joe Coy. Joe Coy brought it up. He's like, did you see? I brought him up. I said, Joe, what's fucking wrong with Josh Wolf? Send me a video of two guys getting fisted in the asshole. What's wrong with him? And he goes, that's nothing. That's child's play. I got a video of him putting a leech up his ass. And I was like, did you say butthole? Like, not the butt cheek. Put it on your asshole.
She said to me, she goes, I'm going to put this on your root chakra. I'm like, is that what you're calling it? Okay. However you want to put it. That's cool.
What I'm going to do from now on. Hey, girl, let me put it in your root chakra. Maybe that sounds a little bit better.
Did you have any idea what root chakra meant? Were you like,
no, because she said to me, she goes, well, first we're going to put one right below your tailbone. I'm like, I know what that is. She said, yeah, right on your root chakra. I'm like, cool. We call this an asshole where I'm from. Root chakra it is. That's
and how and how long? First of all, why? What is this doing? Sucking out the bad blood or some shit?
Well, listen. Couple. First of all, I had 6 on my body. I had 4 on my back. They put 1 in my belly button, and it looked so weird because it really looked like it was trying to just dig in there. You know what the weirdest part
is? Disgusting.
You know the weirdest part was? The weirdest part was watching them grow in real time because you could watch my blood fill them up. That was bizarre. Oh. It was bizarre. But they say it does a lot of things, man. When you put them on their tongue, they put them on their fucking eyeballs, and guys put them on their dick to increase circulation.
What?
Yep.
Now, I was like, I was out, and I was like, hang on, it helps your dick in. Okay. I like fully relaxed. I like stopped cringing. I was like, oh, all right, circulation.
I did see the expression change on your face. You're like, well, that is smart thinking. That makes good sense.
You know what is real funny is you mentioned that you're doing 4 to 8 minutes, and I was just talking to John. He's been watching Quibi videos. Have you seen that? That's the new platform. That's they're and I was about to say, oh, it sounds like you're doing like a Quibi thing. They're doing like mini documentaries with high class this and that. You're just putting bugs up your asshole. Okay, so I'm not going to give you that credit.
Listen, I will tell you though. To be fair, it was a classy bug. And, I took it out to dinner. They were talking about. They were like, you get to take these leeches home. I'm like, for what? What like? What do you think? And she said, well,
you think he wants to keep the one that's been on your asshole?
Yeah. She said, she was like, I can't use this one again.
You think they get back in the tank, and the guy's like, oh, I had the deltoid. Oh, I had the belly button. The guy's like, I had the fucking asshole again.
Think about that. I don't know exactly what life a leech can lead, but when you're born a baby leech and you're like, I'm gonna like live in the Amazon, and then there's the one guy who gets plucked out and he gets to go on Josh Wolf's asshole. He's that guy going to work like another day at the dick sucking factory, except he's literally like stuck in your dick.
You think when he goes back in the tank, they're all like, nobody talks to him, and he's by himself in a corner, and he's like, "Hey guys, want to come over and play? Fuck you, Jimmy."
He's trying to make himself puke up that blood. He's like, "Get it out of me! Get the poison out!"
Yeah, he's got the bad breath. Nobody talked to Jimmy.
Oh my God, you're an animal. You're like torturing animals. So that's what you're doing, huh?
Well, listen, on this show, we've done a bunch of episodes. We had the leech in the butthole. We had a woman who taught me how to swallow swords. We went to listen.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Did you do it? Is that you can just learn how to?
You know how like you can put a screwdriver. You ever seen those people?
Yeah.
Taught me how to do that. I put it straight into my head, bro. It was crazy. And we did a lot of. I like weird things, man. I think I like to be pushed out of my comfort zone. I like to feel like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Because I only get to do this ride on this rock one time. Yeah. And I don't want to be scared of a bunch of shit that I've never tried, because how do I know that I'm scared of it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
no, definitely. I mean, wonderful world of weird. I can't think of a phrase that sums you up better, bro.
Yeah, because, and I'm not making fun of these people. Like the reason we had some problems getting people on the show, because they were like, he's going to come make fun of me. I'm like, this is a
Oh, I think you're awesome.
Yeah.
I assure you, everything I do in my life, I'm the butt of the joke. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about this. People are gonna be laughing at me, not you. Yeah.
I mean, it's an unbelievable fit, dude. You've had such a good long run that like keeps going, because I feel like you're not. First of all, you keep up, like you're evolving with the industry, but I think that your mentality and your approach, it's never gonna get stale, because you're just fucking down, dude. Out of everyone I know, I feel like Josh Wolf is just down. You know? Like, hey, you want to do this shot? Yep. Hey, you want to fucking put this up your asshole? Yep. You want to like set yourself on fire? Yep. I'm down, man.
Sure.
Wonderful World of Weird is a great name. If you ever need another one, just call it I'm Down with Josh Wolf. So this is on your Facebook page. Is it a live thing, or people can watch it whenever, or what?
It's on Facebook Watch, and you can come to my page or find the link, or Studio 71's page has them. And the two other shows I do on this page, I really am trying to turn it almost into a network.
Mm-hmm.
I do the high live. So on Monday nights, I smoke weed and take mushrooms in my backyard and turn on my camera, and I read children's books, and I draw paint. It's like the stoner Mr. Rogers. I draw.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. I wear weird boas and big sunglasses.
By the way, it's such a fine line too. At the same time, everything I'm praising you for. If you were not successful and making money and shit, I would say put this man on a list, put him in a fucking institution, you're this close to being the creepy old man who takes mushrooms and like talks to the neighborhood kids.
You can make it even closer. I'm there. And then, dude, the other thing is that Controlled Chaos, which I have so much fun doing. And
That's great. It's like part game show, part talk show, part comedy, part podcast. It's very cool.
On next time, man.
Yeah, Fights, you got to do it next.
Whatever. I'll come on once you get JC on.
I love it. All right, dude. We appreciate it as always, and I'm sure we'll be doing more to come in the quarantine. So go follow at Josh Wolf Comedy on social. Check him out on Facebook. Subscribe. You know what? No, don't subscribe on YouTube. He's got too many as is. Yeah. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Guys, thank you so much.
Later, Josh. Thanks, bud.